Saquon Barkley officially entered the MVP conversation. Chase, I'm scrolling Twitter yesterday, just trying to catch up on things.
That's what y'all do. That's what y'all do.
We on Twitter.
That's what you do. Unless it's time to defend me.
I see Chase post this. Look, he says, when do we put Saquon Barkley squarely at the top of every MVP list? Chase, it challenged me because I'm an MVP voter.
Yeah.
So I was like, bomb, I got hit.
That's exactly why I put it out.
I got hit. Chase, subtweeted me. He got me. So I said, Chase, let's bring it to the world. I want y'all to weigh in on this conversation. Y'all could watch any show. You're hanging with us. We don't take it for granted. Stay for a while. Tell your friends. Chase, has Saquon entered the MVP convo for you?
Squarely. Yeah. I mean, and I think the biggest thing that we need to keep in mind, and the reason I tweeted that, and I want you to keep in mind because you're an MVP voter, is he's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a quarterback award usually.
Yes, it is.
Right? The last one to win it was AD in 2012, and that was a crazy year, and we'll get to that later.
Yes, we will.
But most valuable player, MVP, valuable, okay? The Eagles are not the Eagles without Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like you can talk about Hurts all you want, and he's playing pretty well. You can talk about the defense. It's not a defensive award. But when you have a guy like Saquon that can completely take over the game, for me, he is that entire offense. He is that heart and that soul. The Eagles would not be 8-2 right now without Saquon Barkley. And when they went 2-2, he was even carrying the team early in the year for that. Here's a crazy stat, and I don't like giving stats in these situations, and it's not even about his total yards. He has 10 total touchdowns right now. Okay, stay with me. He has been tackled inside the 1 or 2 yard line 11 times this year. You know how many touchdowns he has? 1 in that scenario. Because of the tush push. He could easily have 20 total touchdowns. And when you go to AD, Adrian Peterson, we call him all day because I'm from Texas. That's what he was. He's the last person to win it in 2012. He had 2,000 rush yards and 13 total touchdowns. Saquon Barkley is on pace to beat all of that through 10 games right now. He's on pace to beat every single one of those records. So for me, MVP, and I'm a quarterback. Let's just not make it a quarterback award, man.
Yeah, I love this conversation. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say. T, where you at, big dog? Has Saquon entered the MVP chat?
Oh, he's squarely at the top of it. He should be.
My guy. At the top, like under Lamar. But
right under Lamar.
Fair.
But unfortunately, it's what Chase just said.
Yeah.
He'll never win it. It has become a quarterback award, and it isn't fair, but that's just what it is.
Yeah.
The best non-quarterback is always the offensive player of the year.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so that's what he's shooting for.
Yeah.
Now, it can get really tricky, and we'll talk about this later. If the Ravens lose a couple more games, now
Come on now.
who else deserves it?
Yeah.
Outside of Saquon, he's willing the Eagles to victory. Like, that second touchdown run, you can look at so many plays and say, oh, so-and-so would have done that.
Yeah.
Oh, this running back would have done that. Man, that cutback that he made in the vision to see that, everybody
On
is
the
in
toss?
They're not doing that.
Yeah.
That's an uncommon play by an uncommon player. And so when you see those type of runs, you're like, this dude is the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
The crazy thing, the Giants, I hate to do this.
No.
The front office of the New York Giants, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Like, somebody got to be in trouble for this.
But somebody got
Y'all let this dude go for
All over the
nothing.
internet last night, too.
Like, this is like football malpractice.
Yeah,
it is.
You really let this man go to a division rival, and he's playing like this? Like, it makes no sense to me.
And the dude you drafted, too, number 2 overall. Like, couldn't put the right pieces around him to have some success. Offensive player of the year is his, right? Vote is in.
What about Derrick Henry, though? What about Derrick? Come on, let's not just drink all the juice. Let's not drink all the juice.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Offensive player of the year is his.
Listen to me.
Derrick Henry, close second, right? Having a really good year. But offensive player of the year, when you watch Saquon Barkley this year in the pass game and in the run game, offensive player of the year is his. Now, I cannot put him in the MVP conversation because I've seen this team what it looked like without A.J. Brown and Lane Johnson, right? With Saquon Barkley on the field. He is a perfect piece for what they have. He takes them to an elite level when all of them are on the football field. He does. But I did see them against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I did see them lose games without Lane Johnson and A.J. Brown. The offense looked totally different, and Saquon Barkley was still there. Saquon Barkley is a special talent. In my humble opinion, Derrick Henry is a close second. Yeah. But Saquon Barkley is the best back in football right now. He will win Offensive Player of the Year if he stays on this track. But MVP, I cannot say he's in front of Patty being undefeated. I can't say he's in front of Lamar. I can't say he's in front of Josh Allen. These dudes are playing elite quarterback. Last year, these quarterbacks wasn't playing like this. Right? Now, if Saquon Barkley was playing like this last year, the way the quarterbacks was playing, he'd be at the top right now, just like CMC was at the top for a minute. But right now, Offensive Player of the Year, but I just seen that I've had the opportunity, we have, to see this team without A.J. Brown and Lane Johnson, and they did not look the same. But he's a perfect piece for what they got.
As a voter, I've had to think hard about this question because when Chase posed it, genuinely, we don't just do the show during the 2 hours y'all hang out with us. We do the show all day. When Chase posed it, I thought about my list, and I think James is right. Lamar Jackson's having such an incredible year. Bang, Lamar Jackson. What Josh Allen is able to do with this Bills team and the lack thereof talent, bang, Josh Allen. Say what you will about the lack of statistics Patrick Mahomes has given you, but that team is undefeated, and if Patrick Mahomes isn't at quarterback, they wouldn't be. Bang, Patrick Mahomes, and then you could suggest Saquon Barkley. He is squarely in the top 5, and as MVP voters, we do vote for 5. So thus, he is squarely in the MVP conversation. I would suggest, though, let's be more accurate with the words, shall we? I think Saquon Barkley is the most exciting, exhilarating player on the Eagles roster. He's maybe the most exciting and exhilarating player in the NFL. But I would even suggest, like James Jones said, A.J. Brown, the Eagles are 7-0 when he plays. When A.J. plays, they're 7-0. I also would suggest Saquon Barkley is kind of like the Mariano Rivera, a perfect closer. Eagles are up by 7. 5 minutes left. You need a score. Saquon's a perfect closer. I think a guy like A.J. Brown, he gets the Eagles out of a ditch. 4th and 3, second quarter, down by 7, gotta have it. That's where A.J. Brown shows up. But Saquon Barkley is the most perfect closer. He's exhilarating, he is exciting, and I think he's looking at Offensive Player of the Year. And the greater debate, All-Pro first team, All-Pro second team. MVP, though, Lamar Jackson.
But just answer me this, because right now, as of this morning, this morning right now, like today, Saquon Barkley is 15th best odds to win the MVP. That ain't right, dog. Like, are we that blind to the fact that, like, all these quarterbacks, and I'm a quarterback and I get it, but he should squarely be in the top 3 or 4, like, at least, because I'm just saying you take Saquon away from the Eagles. I like what A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson just agree, like the dog. But you take Saquon Barkley away. I had that stat on air yesterday about how Jalen Hurts pre-bye was throwing it like 38 times a game. Okay? And then post-bye, they say, you know what our mentality is? You know what our personality is? Running the football. He's averaging 21 throws a game. It's Saquon taking over this team. Saquon's the square reason they're 8-2.
I truly believe that Saquon Barkley is the piece that they needed to get back to the Super Bowl. I do. He's the piece they needed. Now, I'm not ready to say MVP because I seen them start 10-0 with Swift. You know what I'm saying? And I seen Swift look really good in this offense. Did he look like Saquon? No, absolutely not. And that's why I say Saquon's a Super Bowl piece.
And they got to go to the Detroit Lions.
But I cannot say MVP right now. But Saquon Barkley is the perfect piece to this offense because you're right.
I like it.
That takes the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands, and he can make magic
too much
happen.
Other stuff to get to. We got to roll. Watching the game last night, there were several things you could have taken away. Obviously, Jalen Hurts struggled, but they still won. Saquon Barkley, he balled beyond the shadow of a doubt. Nick Sirianni, no questions there. Jake Elliott as a kicker, he definitely had his worst game I've seen with him as a Philadelphia Eagle. Missed 2 field goals, missed an extra point. So many incredible things to take away from last night's game. As I'm driving into work, I'm thinking of this, and I want y'all to answer at home with your own mind. What was your one biggest takeaway from the Eagles win? Like, Chase, when you watched that game, what was your one thing that you're like, I have to talk about this first thing in the facility?
Like, obviously, the macro of the Eagles defense, right? But forget about the macro for a second. Let's just zoom in, and let's go to a guy by the name of Quinyon Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
The rookie from Toledo. He ran a 4.33 at the combine, super fast. I'm calling him Quinyon Island. I'm going as far as, like, Revis Island. I'm saying Quinyon Island. Look at these receivers. Quinyon is the #1 corner on the Eagles, and that's saying a lot because Darius Slay is there because he is matching up against all of these guys. Week 2, Drake London, 1 catch, 5 yards. Week 3, Chris Olave. Week 4, Mike Evans, 2 catches, 1. You just go down the list. All these guys are stud guys, and he is the biggest reason why they are number one in pass defense since the bye. And that's hard to say that.
Yeah.
And I even went back and looked because I saw Quinyon with my own eyes shut down Scary Terry, which I think Scary Terry is a top 10 receiver in this league.
Yes, sir.
He straight up shut him down, and he was on him 80% of the game. So I went back for my notes on my combine. Okay, run 4.33, explosive. Here's the thing that I saw from him at Toledo when I studied him. He's a true zone corner who uses his eyes as a weapon, and his next level when he sees through route concepts in the development. You want to talk about Vic Fangio? He's a zone defensive guy. I see him out there diagnosing route concepts like I've never seen a rookie before. And if he does get beat, he's catching up.
Correct.
He's in phase at all times because he runs a 4.33 speed. So for me, it's Quinyon. They got another guy at corner for Vic Fangio's defense. Super impressive.
Yeah, where you at with it, TJ?
How they do it, T?
Defensively, the reason Quinyon Mitchell can do that is them Georgia boys up front.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith.
Ooh.
Like, the Eagles have done a great job of drafting guys up front that can put pressure on a quarterback.
Really well said.
If I'm a DB, I understand what I have up front. I can take chances that I normally would not take. Like Jalen Carter, he just took over the game. Nolan Smith, he got a sack. Jordan Davis, he's taking on double teams so that everybody else can eat. They've done such a great job of drafting. Cooper DeJean, he can play.
Yes, sir.
And so you look at the guys that they've drafted in the last 3 years on defense. This is why this Eagles team is where they are. They probably have taken a step back once they went to, they took a step back once they went to the Super Bowl. Now that these players are understanding the NFL, they're becoming young veterans. It's this D-line, that front seven for the Eagles is unbelievable. And that's why now we see Vic Fangio and his defense really leading them and taking them to new heights.
Yeah, they are back to that championship defense. That's the only thing that I took away from that football game. Obviously, Saquon Barkley was going crazy, but they are a championship defense. And my dog Chase liked graphics. Since the bye week, man, look at these boys, man. Look at these boys. These boys is legit now.
Oh, my God.
And just look at the points allowed. Who you beating scoring 13 points?
Yeah.
I mean, who beating you scoring 13 points? It ain't happening. They almost first in everything. Takeaways, they third. They taking the ball away, and they not allowing you to score points. Just a big-time defense, a championship defense. And then you have two legit corners, just like Chase just talked about. And they playing some zone, but them boys playing some man, too.
Down.
And they is in your face, locked down. I got you wherever you go over the field.
It is, a
little bit.
I'll say yes reluctantly. I'll say that.
You don't believe it? That's how the Buffalo Bills is in the locker room.
Stay with your chest.
You might be slightly right. I'm going off Josh Allen, his record versus them in the regular season. I also believe it may be better for the Chiefs if they lose. That pressure is going to keep getting.
You sound like Shady.
Yeah, you sound like Shady.
Come on,
That's what Shady said.
That's exactly what he
It
said.
may be best if they lose.
Oh, man.
And so the Bills have yet to beat a good team. They need this game more than the Chiefs. They want this game more. They got to prove to themselves that they can do this. Like beating the Cardinals in week 1. That's what we're going to say. That's our best win. That's our biggest win on the season. And so you're going into Buffalo. Josh Allen has had a ton of success versus the Chiefs and Mahomes in the regular season. And so I can see Buffalo winning late second field goal. Not going to be blocked this time.
Oh, that's crazy. Let me say it with my chest. And my notes here say...
Hey, what I said with.
Like a Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, right?
Man, I'll say the Chiefs' undefeated season comes to an end, though I don't want it to. Here's why I'm going to say it, and I hope you all read this last night. You may have missed it.
Don't talk about the kicker.
Have to. Harrison Butker.
You're talking about the kicker.
Harrison Butker, the Chiefs kicker, one of the best kickers in the National Football League. He went on IR. Acho, he's a kicker. Why does it matter? I'll break it down for you. The Chiefs have won 7 games by 1 possession. Or 1 possession. There is no less than 1 possession. They've won 7 games by 1 possession. But in those 7 games, Harrison Butker has gone 14 of 15 in field goals. Furthermore, you're playing a Bills team, a Bills defense that's 8th in touchdown red zone percentage. So you know when you get to the red zone, Bills don't give you touchdowns very often. The Chiefs are 17th in touchdown percentage in the red zone. So when the Chiefs get to the red zone, they don't score touchdowns very often. So you're losing your kicker, a kicker who's gone 14 of 15 in your games that are decided by one possession. Okay, he's gone. Now you're playing a Bills defense that is 8th as it pertains to allowing touchdowns when you get into the red zone. And then you, Chiefs, you're only 17th as it pertains to getting touchdowns when you get in the red zone. So you're going to end up kicking field goals. You don't have your kicker. And now the kicker that you're using, I believe, is a rookie, was on the Jets practice squad, and you just signed him off the Jets practice squad. This game will come down to 3 to 6 points. Y'all really want to put the fate of an undefeated season on a rookie kicker in Buffalo? I think, Chase, it likely comes down to a missed field goal or a missed extra point. I think the Chiefs do fall.
You got some good points right there, big dog. You know, you really do. And I was going to say, you said it perfect, but like the issue with the Chiefs offense this year has been in the red zone. So they will have to kick some field goals. But in Veach, I trust, man. Like, in Veach, I trust. Like, that dude has not made one bad move. So he scoured every single bit of the NFL stratosphere on the street, practice squads who got cut, and he decided the Jets guy is our guy.
Yeah, I like that.
Right?
Good point.
So, look, will it come to an end? I wouldn't be shocked if it does, but I still think the Chiefs find a way to win. And look, a lot has been made about Josh Allen, 3-0 regular season against Mahomes, or 3-1. He is exceptional in the regular season. This is the regular season. And I think this win to me would say a lot about Josh Allen if they could get it. Because if you go and you beat the Chiefs with very little firepower, to me, you got to put them in the MVP race. But the Chiefs' undefeated season, look, I was a part of the Chiefs organization when they started 9-0 in 2013. And that was the first year Andy Reid was there. The Chiefs in their organization history have never started 10-0. So history's on the line right here. And I say that because we were rolling and all of a sudden it came to a halt.
Yeah.
And so that could happen, but I still can't bet against Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce,
smart man, Chase.
DeAndre Hopkins, and guys, the Chiefs' secret, not even the secret weapon, the Chiefs' main weapon, Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah.
And that defense.
Yeah, and we know he didn't say it with his chest. And Acho didn't say it with his chest.
I didn't?
No. My man started looking at the camera. Let me say. Then he leaned back because he like, I know who's over there.
So you about to say it with your chest.
This always happens, man. Number one, the answer is no.
Oh.
This always happens, right? We're going to turn this TV on, and we're going to watch the Kansas City Chiefs play football, and we're going to say, these boys was 4 for 4 in the red zone. It just always happens. Like, they didn't even need a field goal kicker. And not only that, I truly believe Andy Reid knows, man, Harrison Buckner's out. Hey, be ready for 4th down.
Yeah.
They just always overcome these type situations. They just know how to win. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs have not been playing good football offensively. Defensively, they've been doing their thing. Offensively, they haven't. Watch this be one of the games where Patty Mahomes says it's time to turn it on. That's just how the Kansas City Chiefs work. I do not think it comes to an end. I think they go 10-0 strictly because the Kansas City Chiefs, no matter how it looks, no matter who is hurt, no matter who they missing, no matter who coaching, they find ways to win the football game. On the road, at home, it does not matter. They find ways to win, and I think they do that again, and they go 10-0. First time in franchise history. Patty Mahomes, Andy Reid. They just know how to do it.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.